What have we here? See if we can get a nice glimmer off that. There we go. That's a good looking piece of coal there. See that shiny quality? Even has a nice shape. We'll pick that up on the way back. That person's looking at me. Check him out. Is that a kid? He's got a plaid shirt on. Why is he looking at me like that? Sketchy. Can you guys tell that I'm really enjoying having the ability to zoom? Everything I see, I'm like, I'm gonna zoom in. Squirrel, person, piece of coal. All right, guys. Hey, Brett here for TopoRanger, and welcome to another adventure or another episode. Today, I'm gonna try something different. But before we do that, make sure you hit subscribe, ring that bell for notifications, go to TOPO_Ranger on Instagram, and also check me out on Facebook, okay? So, instead of doing one long thing, I'm gonna kind of drive around this area here, not too far from my house, and just hit several smaller stops along the way that kind of tie into what maybe tie into previous episodes, or just neat little things that I think I'd like to share with you guys that are around my local area here, and just kind of mix up the format a little bit. We gotta keep an eye out for that dude with the fuchsia plaid shirt on. I don't know where he went. So if you've watched watched some of my videos, you probably encountered this word, whether I say dike or sill, and I'm always talking about like the diabase. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to come to a spot right here to where I can show you physically what I mean. Now, a dike is when igneous material pushes up through pre-existing strata, right, in a vertical column. And then a sill is when it goes in between horizontal beds. What is this? I don't remember this. Oh, there's some ruins here too. Oh, cool. Huh. Okay, let me stay focused. And then, as will often happen, the material around the igneous material, which is essentially granite in this case, will wear away, and you'll be left with hills or projection or ridges, or like razor ridges. A lot of the features I've been to, Conewago Falls, of course there's Devil's Den in Gettysburg. These are all diabase granite, and I'm always talking about, the dikes that come up. Also up in Boiling Springs, there's the spring itself, they think, is influenced by these huge vertical, basically essentially walls of granite, underground granite, diabase. But there's a spot here not too far from where I live where you can actually see the diabase, and then right next to it the rock that it forced its way up through. And that's really cool, because I just think it gives you a better idea to just see it, physically. It's just interesting, okay? And that's basically right here. So they blasted through here, and when they did, they blasted through limestone, they hit the dike, and then they went on to limestone. This stuff here is the diabase. Now, one thing I want you to notice about this, which I think is really cool, is I don't know how old this road cut is. Probably at least 100 years. And you look at the edges on this rock, right? So this was blasted, and I know this was blasted because there's also drill holes too, and it has absolutely no weathering. So this has been exposed to the elements for 100 years, and the rock itself, I mean, to me, looks like it was first blasted out, last week. The edges are sharp. The angles are sharp. Okay, so the intrusive dike, the vertical pushing up from probably a magma chamber, starts right there and goes the whole way to right about there. So from there to there represents the width of this dike. And you can kind of see the way it's cooled. I don't think dikes have bedding per se, but the way it cools, sometimes it looks like it does. Or maybe you can have bedding in a dike. I don't know. See this? Doesn't this kind of look like bedding? But it's not, though. I don't think it is. I think it's just because right here you see, all of a sudden it goes like this. Right? It's straight up and down, and then bam. So that would be a question to ask a geologist. Okay, still here, still in the dike. Still in the dike. And here it is, right here. So now we are at the exact spot where the surrounding bedrock meets the dike. In this case, it's limestone. I think it might be Conestoga, I'm not sure. And here it is, right here. Maybe I'll clean it up a little bit so y'all can see it. Quite a bit of growth here. Jesus. Again, still getting used to this camera. I got a new kind of like a pistol mount, and I'm really still just getting to figure this sucker out. So excuse my cinematography. Okay, here it is, right here. Diabase, granite, limestone. Diabase, limestone. And the contact is right here. You see this? This spot right here. Limestone, diabase. The diabase is Triassic aged. And I'll put the dates for the Triassic up on the screen now. And the limestone is, I think it's Ordovician. One way you can tell that they are different is, number one, from you look at the geological map, red lines, thin red lines represent dikes. And one day I was looking at a map of this area, and I saw this thin line, and I noticed it went right across across the railroad tracks, and I was like, why? Maybe I can find the dike. One way that you can tell they're different, other than the map, is just looking at it. See this limestone? Now this has this has real, honest to goodness bedding, because it's a sedimentary rock. Right? Here's a little, probably maybe a little shell layer. This is limestone. Here's some really thin bedding here. See that? Thin. Each bed is, half an inch, an inch. Here's a thicker bed. Here's a thicker bed. And then here's another layer of thin beds, and then it goes back. It's like almost like an alternating sequence there. So horizontal beds, right? You're following them, and then all of a sudden, boom, beds, boom, dike. Yeah, contact goes right up here and extends up, boom, and that's it. So on this side, the contact is obscured here. Whoa! Oh, on this train track. It's probably right about there. And here's a nice outcropping here. Right there. So, boom. This is, there is a green engine that pulls things up and down here sometimes, but it's not a very active rail. But that doesn't mean I don't have to pay attention. Obviously, always be super careful when you're walking by a train. All right, I'm jumping in here. I just referenced an engine that ran up and down those tracks, and I'm at a different location now, but I saw the engine, so I figured I would throw it in right here. It's this green one right here. It looks like it's got some maybe dry goods carriers on there. Norfolk Southern. Now, if you are into trains and you're watching this video, let me know what kind of engine that is. I'm assuming it's a diesel, but I don't really know that much about trains. Leave whatever you know down in the comments there. Let's see, here's the grandma. I had forgotten that there were these ruins here. I don't know what this was. A bridge. And then there's a second tier here. Maybe it was some kind of loading. I'm not really sure. But those are old. They're at least as old, or a little bit, let's say a little bit, they got to be a little bit younger, maybe a little bit younger than the railroad cut. And up there, it's very deteriorated up there. The modern bridge is right there, and that's where that guy was staring at us. Or maybe I was staring at him. Look at this. Wow. There's I'm parked at a shopping mall right down the tracks here. It's probably where this came from. I think it's a Saubles Market. Look at that. That's only one thing that I know right here that can do that, and that's train. There's a makeshift set of stairs up here, up to the other side. Well, there is some construction going on here, and that always interests me because sometimes when they dig foundations, they hit bedrock. They have to blast into the bedrock so you can get really good looks at what the bedrock looks like underneath the dirt, underneath the soil, which is always interesting. Got some robins here. Let's zoom in on the robins. There they are. I had a babysitter named Robin when I was maybe about 5 years old. My mom would drop me off. I would crawl under her bed, and I would stay there for a couple hours. Then my mom would come back and get me, and I'd still be under the bed. Now, in Robin's defense, she was a perfectly good babysitter. There's nothing wrong with her. I didn't bring my tripod, so I got to do all of this handheld. It's like a little snub-nose earth mover there. I don't think I've ever seen one with the tracks that short. There's a guy there. I don't know what they're building here. It might be an addition to the. There's a medical facility here. All right, let's go to the next stop. For real this time.